we will move on to it. Right now, before going to the topic, let us find out what Swiflearn is. As you already know, that Swiflearn is the India's most sincere learning destination for classes 1 to 10. So over here, all the classes are 100% live and interactive classes where you can ask any sort of doubt or confusion regarding the topic to your teacher, and the teacher will explain everything in the classes only. Fine. Secondly, we give personalized attention to each and every students of our batches, because our batches consist of maximum number of 6 students, so not more than that, which help us to keep an eye on the student, how they are performing in the class, how they are doing the homework, as well as the student can also ask any sort of doubt, whatever is coming in their mind in the classes only, so there will be no chaos at all. Right. Thirdly, we have a very good dedicated academic mentor team who continuously keep a track on the students' progress. So how the students are doing the homework, how they are understanding all the concept, what topic they are lagging, what topic they are already improved. So these are all tracked by the academic mentor team, and accordingly you will get the feedback. Fine. And the fourth thing, which is very important, that we covered the syllabus as per your school examination schedule as well as the examination of your board exam. Right. And also we handle the custom request, so you can request us of any of the topic which you are having in your school exam, so we will do all those topic first and then we will move on to the other topics. So these are the basic general uh, features of Swiflearn which we follow, and let us find out what are the key features of Swiflearn. So the very first key feature of Swiflearn is we maintain a detailed progress report of each and every student. So this progress report contains whatever you are doing in the class, how you are attending the classes or not, whether you were doing the homework or not, in which topic you were totally prepared, which topic you were lagging, so you need improvement. So everything is there in the progress report, and according to this we have the PTM also, the parent teacher meeting in certain intervals. So these are the feedback which you will get, and your parents will understand where you were lagging, and definitely you will be able to uh, improve yourself in the different topics as well as the different subjects. Right. Secondly, we have the Swiflearn academic test series, in short, which we call the SATs. It happens in every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can perform this one, and you will be able to understand what is your rank all over India. Right. Thirdly, you can take the unlimited practice test which are there after completing each and every topic of all the subjects, where you will get all sorts of questions like objectives and subjectives. In case of the objective question, definitely you will get MCQs, true false, filling the blanks, match the column, whatever types of questions you get in your school examination according to the different boards, definitely. And you can practice all of them after completing each and every topic, as well as we have the subjective test for your school examination. So before going to the school exam or the board exam, you can write down the answers over here. So sometimes what happen, you have the concept totally cleared, but you cannot write down the answer because some of the key words are missing in your answer. So we have a very good group of teacher who will give you the tips how to write the subjective questions according to how much marks it is containing, and where to include the diagram, where to include the graph, where to include the different chemical reactions in case of the chemistry. So these are all the different things you can practice over here, and you can improve so that you will never lose any marks in your board exam as well as the school exam. So these are the main key features of Swiflearn. To what to do, you have to book a free trial class and you will be able to experience all these features of Swiflearn. Okay, so the enrollment of the new session is going on, admission is going on, so please book a free trial class right now and you will experience all these features and you can come to our regular classes. So as you have already done by now, I know that most of you have already subscribed our channel in YouTube. Those who have not done it yet, please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so that you will never miss any of the update of the upcoming sessions. Right. So please stay with us and learn with Swiflearn. So like, comment and share with your friends and family members. Now let us move on to the topic of today. So today I have already said that we will discuss about the cell. So cell is the chapter which you have already studied in detail in class 9th, right? So in 10th you have a very little portion of the cell. Basically it depends upon the different covering of the cell, whatever is present within the cell. A very light idea what you have already studied in elaboratively in class 9th, and basically the nucleus, because we are focusing on the nucleus because you have the other chapters based on this, like the cell division will come after this chapter. Okay, so you have to remember and you have to know about the nucleus very detail, so that you can understand whatever is there within the cell, what is happening, where the different mechanisms are happening in the later chapters also. So today mainly we will study about the cell shape and size, which you have in your 10th syllabus. Then we will study about some of the cellular organelles, which in detail you have already studied in 9th. I'm again telling you, so we will just give the idea, and we will just recall those things, right? Then we will discuss about the main structure of the cellular cell membrane, that is the plasma membrane. What is the fluid mosaic model, we will mainly focus on. So we will study about that. Then we will study about the cytoplasm, and we will study about the nucleus, okay, which is the brain of the cell or the essence of the cell. So these are the main topic. I guess you all are ready. Please join quickly, and also do not forget to like, share and comment. Okay, chalo. So let us now find out what today is the cell. So cell is the basic thing. You have already got an idea in class 9. What is that? Yes, if you compare the cell uh, with your room, okay, so what is present within your room? It is made up of the four walls and having some doors and windows in it, right? So what are this wall of the room made up of? Any idea? Yes, can you please tell me what are the what are the wall of the rooms are made up of? These are made up of the different bricks, right? When the bricks are arranged in a proper order and they are arranged or fixed with each other with the cement, they are forming the whole wall, and this whole wall will give you a proper structure of your room, and basically all the different rooms will make up the whole house. So this is the basic structure of the house where you live, right? So as looking into the structure of the house, we can see that the bricks are the building blocks of all the house, right? So whether it is a very tall building or a very short house, the brick make the wall, and it will very small grasses to the tall coconut trees, or we can say it is also present in all the different animals what you see around you, like starting from the very small ant to the large elephant or giraffe also, right? So all the living organisms are made up of cells, so that is why we can say that the cells are the building blocks of all living organisms, and definitely of the human. Okay, so we are comparing the cells with the building block of the house, that is the brick. I guess you have got an idea, right? Now let us find out what actually cell is.
Every living organism is made up of cells. From plants to the lowliest worm to the most complex human being. But what is a cell? Well, a cell is a small, self-contained unit within a whole organism. Kind of like a room within a house. It is the smallest unit that can be classified as a living thing. We can think of them as the building blocks of life. So how many cells do you think you have in your body? 1,000? A million? A million? More. We contain around 50 trillion cells. Have a look at your little finger. There's probably about 10 billion cells in there. Now, cells come in all different shapes and sizes. Occasionally, cells can be large enough to be seen by the human eye. For example, the yolk of a chicken egg is actually a single cell, and some cells are really long, such as a nerve cell that runs the entire length of your spine. However, most cells are really tiny and can only be seen under a microscope. They are so tiny that you could fit about 10 of them across one of your hairs. Now, there are many different types of cells, and each cell carries out its own jobs. Some of these jobs are common to all cells, such as making proteins and producing energy, while some jobs are specific to the type of cell. A human sperm cell has to be able to swim, while the cells that produce a peacock's tail must produce beautiful coloured pigments. Sometimes cells can exist on their own, such as a simple bacterium or a single-celled organism called an amoeba. But mostly, cells work together to form more complex multicellular organisms, such as animals, plants, and insects. In a multicellular organism, as well as doing its own jobs, each cell also works together with the other cells around it to carry out an overall job. For example, the cells of the heart work together to pump blood around your body. So, cells come in all shapes and forms and have all sorts of jobs, but they are all fundamental building blocks of living organisms. Watch this video to learn more about different types of cells.
If you like the video,
So this is all about the different types of the cells, as well as you have already studied about the cell. I guess you have a clear idea about the cell now, right? Because you have already studied in the class 9th. So I have already given you a basic idea of the cell. Hi Drishti, how are you? Yes, you were joining my regular class. Great, great. So we will definitely meet in the regular class, right? Okay. So let us now find out what the cell is. So as I have already said that the cell is the building block of all living organisms. So this is the building block because it is giving a structure, a particular structure to all the living organism, starting from the very small bacteria to the large animals and plants and the human body. Right now, each of the cells are capable of independent existence, and they all carry out the different functions of the body. So what type of functions do they carry out? They carry out the different types of functions, which include the nutrition, respiration, excretion, transportation, and the other different things like the nervous system and everything, right? So in the unicellular organism, as you already know and have an idea about what are the unicellular and the multicellular organism, you already studied in class 9th. So the unicellular organisms have one cell, and that particular cell perform all the different functions of the body, right? But in case of the multicellular organisms, all the cells are arranged in a particular manner so that they will form the tissue. The different tissues will form the organ, all the organs form the total organ system, and together they will perform the different functions of each and every body, right? So this is all about the cell. Now let us find out what is the shape and the size of the cell. This also we have already discussed previously, that they are of different shapes and of different size, right? So particularly about the shape, we will see that cells can be of the different shapes, like the oval. So can you tell me any one of the cell where you can find the oval shaped? Yeah, the oval shaped cell, you can find the liver cells in our body are a little bit oval shape, okay? Or you can say the egg cells, right? They are also the ovals shaped. Now coming to the another type of shape, like the spherical shaped cell. So can you tell me any examples of the spherical shaped cell? Yes. Okay, I'm keeping it at blank for you because I want the answer from you. Okay, spherical shaped cell, it is very common. You already have studied it. Now coming to the rectangular shaped cell. This is also present in the epithelial tissues, right? So the skin, we can say the cells which make up the skin, they are rectangular in shape, as well as we can say that the different plant tissues are also having the rectangular shape, right? As well as we can say that cheek cell, these are of rectangular shaped like this, right? Okay, now coming to the spindle shaped cell. Spindle shaped matlab the two ends are tapering, and definitely the middle portion is a little bit bulgy. So this type of cell you can find in which cell? We can see this shape in the muscle cells, right? Yes, and there are also some of the cells which are totally irregular in shape. So irregular shaped cells we can find in WBC, which can also change their own shape according to their function, so that they can squeeze through the different blood capillaries. We can find the amoebic cells which are irregular in shape, and definitely the nervous cells, which seems to be almost like this, having the dendrites and a proper cellular organelles, and they also have a long tail like this, right? So the nerve cell is also the irregular shaped cell. So these are all the various types of cells. So I have already asked you what is the cell which are spherical in shape. Any idea? These are the, yes, I have not got any answer. Please give me the answer in the chat box. And you already know that I will write your name as the student of the session at the end of the session on screen, right? Okay. So spherical shaped cells are basically the RBCs, right? The red blood cells which are present in our blood. So these are the all about the various shapes of the cell. Now let us find out what are the sizes of the cell. Definitely the size of the cell also varies, starting from the very small cell which is found in the bacteria, and also the tiny cell which are present in our body, which are the RBCs, rather going to the very longer cells which are the nerve cells. So the size of the cells also vary in different organisms. So do you know what is the smallest cell of the world? Any idea? Let me guess. Let all of us guess what is the smallest cell on the world and what is the largest cell on the world. And as you already know that the longest cell in the world is our nerve cell, whose like whose length can be sometimes 1 meter. It varies from 0.1 millimeter to 1 meter sometimes. Okay. So this is the longest cell. Let me see who can give me the answer of which one is the smallest cell. Anybody you know? Yeah. Yes, this is one type of bacteria whose name is mycoplasma. Okay, mycoplasma is a bacteria which is the smallest cell on the world, which we also called as the PPLO. Okay, what is the size of this cell? Its size is 10 micrometer. Can you imagine how small it is? Okay, and can you now tell me what is the largest cell on the world? We can say that the ostrich's egg is the largest cell on the world. Okay, so what can be the length and breadth or the diameter of this cell? Do you have any idea? Please note it down that its length can be of 6 inches, as long as 6 inches, and its diameter can be as long as 5 inches. Okay, or if you want to say it in millimeter, it will be like 150 millimeter. Okay, so this is all about the various types of the cells, the different sizes as well as the different shapes of the cells. Clear hai? Yes, if you have any question, please write it in the chat box, right? Okay, now let us find out, based on the number of the cell, we can divide the different organisms into two main categories, right? One is the unicellular organism and another one is the multicellular organism. So what are the unicellular organism? Let us find out. From the name only we will be able to understand. If we divide the name into two different parts, uni matlab one or single we can say, and cellular matlab cell. So whenever the living organism is having only one cell or a single cell in the whole body, we will call those cells as the unicellular organism, right? We can find these types of cell in the bacteria, we can find this in the yeast, we can definitely find them in the various types of protozoans, right? Like amoeba, we can find the unicellular organisms in paramecium. Okay, and also the unicellular organism is euglena. These are all the different organisms whose whole body is made up of only one cell, and that particular cell perform all the vital activities of the body. Clear hai? Now coming to the multicellular organism. Again, from the name only you will be able to understand. If you divide the name into two parts, multi matlab many. Okay, this is very easy to remember, right? Multi matlab many and cellular matlab cell, right? So whenever it is unicellular matlab uni matlab one, cellular matlab cell, so the whole body is made up of one cell, and multi matlab many and cellular matlab cell, so the whole body of the organisms are made up of millions and millions of cells, right? So many cellular organism. basically. Okay, so we can find the examples of multicellular organism. It can be the spirogyra. Do you know what is it? It is one type of algae. Fine. Now, human being, it is one type of mammal. You can give some idea, you can give the different other examples like dog, cat, tiger, lion, insects, elephant. Everything will come under the multicellular organism. As well as if you think about the trees, so starting from the very small grasses, so grass, all the herbs, all the shrubs, the tall trees, everything will come under the mango tree, coconut tree. These will all come under the multicellular organism. So if you were asked for giving any example of the multicellular organism, you have a huge number of examples, right? So this is all about the unicellular and the multicellular organism. So let us study about the unicellular and multicellular organism in a very much detail, so that you will be able to answer whenever you will get any question of definition of the unicellular and the multicellular organisms, right? So what are the unicellular organism? How will you define it? You will define like this, that the organisms which are made up of only one cell or the single cells may constitute the whole organism, which are known as the unicellular system, like the digestive system, circulatory system and all. And definitely all the systems, when they are coordinating with each other for performing a particular function, they will make up the whole organism. So these are the basic levels of all the living organisms. So definitely the multicellular organisms will perform all the vital activities of the body when all the cells are coordinating with each other in a specific way. So this is all about the unicellular and the multicellular organism. Clear up to this much? Okay, so let us give you some of the different shapes of the cell, some of the examples of the cells with the different shapes. Like first, I have already said that the spherical or biconcave, or we can say the circular type of cell is found in the RBC, that is the red blood cells which are present in our blood. Okay, and this RBCs contain the hemoglobin, that is giving which is a red colored pigment, giving a proper red color to our blood, right? Now coming to the second one, that is the nerve cells, which are long in length. Okay, so these are long in length because they also perform a particular function of carrying the different impulses to. Okay. Okay, so this is all about the cell theory, which you have already studied in class 9th, right? Yes. Now let us find out how we can see the cell. As I have already said that there are the various types of sizes of the cells, right? Starting from the very small, the smallest cell, which is the mycoplasma, one type of bacteria, to the largest cell, which is the ostrich egg. So large cell, so definitely we will be able to see without the microscope. But what about the cells which are present within our body or the body of the different plants and animals? Those are the cells which we cannot see through our naked eyes. We have to see them under the microscope. So we have already studied about the detail of the microscope, the compound microscope which are used in the biological lab, right? Yes. Now let us find out what is present within the cell when we will see the cell under the microscope. So definitely the cell is made up of covering. A covering which is present in all the cells are known as the cellular membrane or cell membrane or plasma membrane, right? Then other than the plasma membrane, the fluid which is present within the cell is known as the cytoplasm. And within the cytoplasm, all the various types of cellular organelles are floating. Okay, so what are the cellular organelles which are present within the cell? It can be the nucleus, mitochondria, ribosome, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum. You have already studied about the two types of endoplasmic reticulum, like the rough ER and the smooth ER. You have also studied about the plastids, the centrosomes, which are centrosomes are present mainly in the animal cells only. Plastids are present only in the plant cells. Lysosomes we have studied, and the vacuoles, right? So we will see all of them and we will just look at them and get an idea, because the elaborative thing you have already studied in class 9th, right? So these are all the various types of membrane bound organelles. So in this picture, you can see that this is the nucleus. These are the endoplasmic reticulum having the very small ribosomes on it. So these ribosomes are helpful in process of the protein synthesis. These are the different ER, which are the smooth ER, and this smooth ER actually helps in the process of formation of the protein and storing of the protein and lipid. Then we have studied about the mitochondria having the double membrane bound structure, and the outer membrane is the smooth one and the inner membrane is having the cristae, which are the folded membrane.